Thank you for joining us. Thank you, and permit me to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to you, depending on your time zone. I welcome you to this very segment of our broadcast. I am Pastor Maxwell Nawoye. You are welcome. We are looking at the hardship that is still ravaging the country, Nigeria. Everyone is complaining, everyone is talking about it. Everyone is affected. The common man in the street, the common woman in the street, those who are underemployed, who don't have major sustainable means of income, who don't have very, very buoyant accounts, those who have children, those that have a lot of people who are dependent on them for their livelihood. Everyone is affected by this very high inflation and hike in petroleum price and foods and services and commodities in the country. Everyone is affected directly, not indirectly. Everyone is affected directly. Well, the price is not going down anytime soon. And we know that Nigeria is a mono economy, which means it depends on one source of major stream of income, which is the oil and gas sector. The Dangote refinery that was supposed to bring relief to Nigerians has been sabotaged, politicized, and monopolized by the government of the day. This is systemic because it is exactly how Nigeria was structured and founded to exist. That is the foundation. That is the system. Hardship. Hardship. It is biting so hard in the country. It is very, very serious. About 1 hour or so ago, someone knocked at the gate and the gate was opened to the person, a woman. And she walked straight where we live and knocked. One of our neighbors came and informed us that somebody's at the door. My wife went out to see the person. Strange person. We don't know this, but we don't know. He's not even our neighbor. We don't know the person from Adam. Totally a strange person. A woman. Maybe she should be in her 40s to 50s. She came. I'm not saying this for insult or to castigate, because I cannot derive any joy doing that. But just to let you know how difficult it has been for so many people. She came and knocked on the door. We're not aware that somebody was knocking. And then one of our neighbors called our attention to it. And my wife went to see who this person might all sort of things in the street, from house to house, compound to compound, from house to house, compound to compound. And you can imagine what others who don't have such boldness to come out to beg, what they are going through in the privacy of their homes, in their rooms, in their flats, in their self-contained. Such people that don't have the boldness to come out. You walk to a compound that you have nothing in connection with. A compound. You are not living in that compound. You are not even a neighbor in the street. Just people are roaming about, looking for where to beg for one thing or the other in order to survive, because they can no longer contain the pain and the bite of the hunger. Some of them, they cry and they demand and they request of their children actually chase them out of the house. They can't stand it anymore. They cannot. We are talking of the people we have seen. We are talking about the people we have heard from. What are those? Those who are shy. Those who are not the begging type. Those who are the quiet type. What must have happened to them in the secret, on the privacy of their several homes? What must have happened to them? We don't know. Some have actually taken their lives. Some have given up on life completely and totally and decided to take their own lives by themselves, unreported. So if this woman did not come to our compound today, this morning, to beg for food, to beg for employment, to beg, to be employed as a house help, to beg for noodles, Indomie, how many packs will be enough for 4 children in her house? How many packs of Indomie, how many cartons of Indomie will be enough for how many days? How many rubber of garri will be enough for 4 children plus herself? 5. How many rubbers of garri will be enough? How much is a rubber of beans? It's going to 10,000 naira today. When Buhari was on seat, the time of leading into the time of Buhari, a rubber of beans was about 2,500. That was the highest of the price, 2,500. A rubber, which is a custard rubber, today is going to 10,000 naira. A rubber of garri, the same custard rubber of garri, was sold before Bola Ahmed Tinubu was sworn into office. A rubber of garri, the real good quality garri, the one that doesn't float, one that when you prepare it, it has enough starch in it, was sold for like 700 to 800 naira. 700 to 800 naira. Today is about 6,000 plus. Are some people actually reasoning to understand what Nigeria represents? To understand when you are talking about a brighter future for the country, it seems like a dream that can never ever become a reality. It seems like a dream. In this part of the world, we call it malaria dream, which is a dream that is not real. Can you just understand it? About 3 weeks ago, we went to restock our kitchen in preparation of one or two things. The bag of rice we bought some time ago was almost exhausted because I usually buy in bags. Because when you buy a cup, how many cups are you going to buy for the family? How many rubber of rice are you going to buy that will last for how long for a family? So for a long time, I usually buy in bags. What I don't buy in bags is gari. I don't buy gari in bags. I don't buy beans in bags. I usually buy rice in bags. Noodles we buy in cartons. Yam we buy in tubers, not just one or two or three. The one that can at least that can carry for the family for like, if not up to 1 month, but at least up to or 3 weeks, you know, because buy it in bulk actually saves a lot of money. But it's not easy to buy foodstuffs in quantity. Okay, so the a bag of rice I bought some time ago. It's not up to it's close to 6 months or so. Do you know that the bag of rice was exhausted? It was not up to 6 months, which usually lasts more than that. Okay. So the last time I bought, it was I think that was 49,000 to 51,000 thereabout. So when it was exhausted, I didn't actually know that it was close to exhaustion. It was later that my wife told me the bag of rice is remaining about 2 rubber or so. I shouted. I said, how soon? Because my calculation was we still have about 2 months before the rice will be exhausted. So I had no choice. I don't need to procrastinate it. If I say, okay, if it's exhausted, let's buy a rubber or 2 rubber or so, to make up, pending when I'll be ready to buy another bag to restock the kitchen. I said, no, I have to do that immediately. When I got to the market, both of us, we went to the market. I was shocked that there was extra 30,000 on top of it. It was now selling for 80 something, 80 something thousand. From 51,000 to about 86,000. 86,000. It's not the foreign rice because we decided to cut down the expenses we are making so that the family can be able to still survive and take care of other things. We are not proud. I'm not competing with anybody. So there are quality local rice. Yes, but he decides when it is going to be the end of our life. You have not taken care, you have not provided quality leadership in the first tenure of 4 years. Yes, you may say, oh, it's just 2 years. That is how you will still say it in the next 3 years. That is how you are going to still say it when this very first tenure is going to elapse in the next 4 years. You will still say it's just. It's just. It's just. What would it cost you? What would it be you if I made it to decide to deliver quality governance, quality policies that will transform the country? He has made so much money. He has become so rich that he doesn't need to loot in order to become rich. He has already made money. He has established connections. He has factories and companies. He has a lot of allies that even for the rest of his life, he will not be poor. Why continue to formulate and implement more and more anti-people's policies, anti-economic policies to the worsening state of impoverishment of the Nigerian people? Why? What profit? What other profit are you looking for? The president of Nigeria, what other profit is he looking for? What other personal gain? What brand is it? What is the shape? What is the color? What is the definition or the categorization of pleasure that he wants to derive? That at his age, with over 3 decades in power or in the system of governance or in the system of leadership or in the system of making money, that he has not tested. Hardship. Suspend all policies impoverishing Nigerians. NASME begs Tinubu. The National Association of Small and Medium-Scale Enterprises, NASME, and financial experts have called on the federal government to suspend any new policy that may impoverish Nigerians. So and increase in value after tax VAT is being anticipated from 7.5% to 10%. Your state chairman, NASME, Press John Rumi, said that being consumer tax would make prices of goods and services VAT is a tax. No tax is for their highways, that stuff, where when it is waste, electronics equipment, and all that is a consumer tax. Understand this. That is a common man you claim you are that will not be affected. Oh, poor man doesn't pay tax. of certain diets. That's what we have been trying to implement for some time now. When I went to buy about a few tubers of yam, about 10 tubers of yam, that was it's not up to 3 months. It's not. It's about 2 months thereabout. I was shocked when we run out of stock. As I said earlier, whenever we're about to run out of stock, I make sure that I restock. I make sure I go and buy more food stuff to be able to provide for my family and also to do the work of God. I'm a pastor, but nobody's paid me. I'm a pastor. I don't depend on church revenue or church resources or church money. I don't depend on church money. I pay my rent by myself. I am a pastor. I am not a branch pastor. I am a lead pastor of our church by God's grace. I am the G of the church. But I pay my rent. I pay the church rent. I pay. I work for it. I work for my money. I don't depend on tithe or offering. I pay. I clothe myself. I clothe my family. I fuel my car. For some time now, I have reduced the extent of where I go with my car or private mental activities. I cut it down. Sometimes I will park the car, I will join public transport because of the cost of fuel. Nobody is fueling my car for me. I'm simply fueling it for me. I fuel it myself. I bought the car with my money, not cheap money. It wasn't a gift. It was a seed of faith. Just like some people used to castigate pastors. There are people like us who are words of labor. A tuber of yam that we could buy for like 1,000 plus some time ago. In fact, the size of the tuber of yam I bought, was the size we usually buy like 600 naira in those days. And you buy as many tubers as possible and stock your house, or if you want to have an occasion. To my shock, after I extensively went round the yam zone, I was able to buy only 10 tubers of yam for nearly 40,000. Nearly. Because I really priced. I can tell you, I went round. My wife couldn't do it. I said, okay, let me do it myself. I went round. I know how I make my money. I don't thief. I'm not a fake pastor. I am not a fake prophet that use charm or use different kind of means to exploit people or extort money from them. So the way you make your money will determine how you spend it. So I'm so judicious in spending money because I know how I make my money. I don't make it like others. I went around the yam zone. I was able to come up with only 10 tubers of yam for nearly 40,000 naira. Out of the 10 tubers of yam, do you know that 2 of them got spoiled? 2 of them spoiled. 2. We didn't even notice it. It softened. It melted. It softened. So you can't eat it. You can't, whether to roast or to boil, you cannot. Complete waste. And I said, okay, instead of the remaining ones to be damaged, it's better we start eating the yam. And that was it. And we were able to exhaust them within some space of time. And then I have to restock. By this time, it is new yam. New yam. We could only buy 5 of them. This time was by the roadside in a bogey in the barrel. So I mixed one of them, and then I have to slow down to try and put this other one. And luckily, I saw one by the other lane. I have to turn by the next available turn and drive towards the bookie. In fact, where I parked at a distance, because if the bookie sees that I have a Jeep, oh my goodness, the price is going to be at the top of the roof. So I have to strategically park my car at a distance. Then I and my wife had to walk down. And that helped us. When they see us with our Jeep, with our car, they think that, oh, he has so much money. Just like the woman that came to our compound this morning. That was how I was able to buy only 5 tubers that we bought. And very soon, my wife is going to deliver. So we have to buy some things, to wait for her delivery, to welcome our baby. Karunwi said that the present situation had left most Nigerians without disposable income. In other words, you can no longer spend 100 naira without knowing why you are spending it. You can no longer spend or dash. It is even difficult for you to dash. We say dash somebody, give somebody money for, just you see somebody, you like the person or you don't like, you just feel like, hello, how are you? Take this 1,000, buy something for yourself. That is, disposable income, Most Nigerians, they don't have disposable income anymore. According to him, John Karunwi, the situation now is that after transportation, maybe people have little for feeding. If they now discover that for some certain products, the prices will go high, the demand for products that are not essential will definitely drop. He said the government should be patient and allow the economy to stabilize despite its drive to increase its internally generated revenue. The economist, Mr. Samson Olalere, I don't know whether it's Yoruba, I don't know. Permit me if I didn't pronounce it well. Mr. Samson said that the idea to increase VAT at this point would further deepen the hardship of the common man. The truth, according to him, people are already grumbling about the unwarranted fuel price increase and the high cost of living, as the new minimum wage increase is grossly inadequate. And you remember when I broadcasted here last month or so, the 70,000 minimum wage, the federal government has not even started implementing it, let alone the state government. They have not started implementing it, and now there's fuel increase. So the increment in the minimum wage, which has not even been implemented, makes no sense anymore. He said the government should look inward and come up with ideas that would benefit the populace and reduce the hunger of common Nigerians. According to him, I quote, I say no to the increase in VAT. It is an abuse of the sensitivity of Nigerians. Olalere wondered why the common Nigerian would be asked to sacrifice, tighten his belt, and keep faith in the government without enough consideration for him from the same government. A financial expert, Mr. Shola Famakenwa, corroborated the opinions of others that an increase in VAT would amount to an increase in the prices of goods and services. There is no way the manufacturing industries would bear the cost of increased VAT. It would be passed down to the consumers. This was exactly what I said minutes ago. It is not possible. They will pass it down to us. We are going to pay that VAT. Me and you. We will pay it. Are you a politician? Maybe if you're a politician, this broadcast does not concern you. It won't touch you. Maybe your brother is a councillor or your brother is a senator. Maybe your brother is a member of House of Representative or House of Assembly in your state. Or maybe your brother or your sister or your cousin is the chairman of the LGA or vice chairman. Maybe your uncle or somebody close to you is a commissioner or minister. Maybe all of this broadcast doesn't affect any of you. You will never feel it. Or maybe there are people who steal from where they work. There are people that steal, they steal, they pay bribe, they use different means to make money. They don't work hard to make their money, just like some of us. This type of broadcast doesn't concern you. According to Mr. Olalere, I say no to increase in VAT. It is an abuse of the sensitivity of Nigerians, said the economist. Olalere wondered why the common Nigerian would be asked to sacrifice, tighten his belt, and keep faith in the government without enough consideration for him from the same government. A financial expert, Mr. Shola Famakenwa, corroborated the opinions of others that an increase in VAT would amount to an increase in the prices of goods and services. According to him, there is no way the manufacturing industry would bear the cost of increased VAT. It would be passed down to the consumers. If what we hear about the proposed VAT increment is true, I do not think Nigerians can bear to have more burden added to their shoulders now, Farmer Kenwa said. He noted that the government needed to reduce the economic hardship by introducing subsidies for necessities that directly affect Nigerians, considering that not all are government workers, as I said minutes ago. However, the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms recently recommended an increase to 10% from 2025 and to 15% by 2027 or 2030. Thanks for watching.